You're driving to work, maybe you're listening to a podcast, sipping your coffee, everything's fine. And then you hear it. That sound. That grinding, metal-on-metal sound coming from under your hood. You pull over, you call the mechanic, and 3 hours later, you're staring at an $1,800 repair bill. And your checking account? It's got maybe $400 in it. So now you're scrambling. You're looking at credit cards, you're thinking about asking your parents for money, you're Googling how to sell plasma near me, and the worst part? You knew this was going to happen eventually. You knew you needed an emergency fund. You just never built one. Look, if that scenario hits a little too close to home, you are not alone. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to build an emergency fund fast. Not in 2 years, not in 5 years fast. And I'm going to show you why the way most people think about emergency funds is completely wrong. My name is Lewis, and I spend way too much time thinking about saving psychology, cash management, and why smart people keep making the same money mistakes over and over again. If you're someone who knows you should have an emergency fund, but you've never been able to actually build one, or maybe you've started one 3 different times and it keeps getting drained, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. All right, let's get into this. Here's the thing. The reason most people don't have an emergency fund isn't that they're lazy. It's not because they don't make enough money. It's because of a fundamental psychological disconnect between how we experience money and how emergencies actually work. A Bankrate survey found that 56% of Americans cannot cover an unexpected $1,000 expense with savings. 56%. That's not just low-income households. That includes people making $80,000, $100,000 a year. Here's what most people don't realize. It's not an income problem. It's an allocation problem. Let me explain. When you get your paycheck, your brain immediately starts categorizing that money into things you need right now. Rent, groceries, car payment, Netflix, that gym membership you haven't used since January. Your brain treats every dollar as spoken for because psychologically, present needs always feel more urgent than hypothetical future emergencies. Behavioral economists call this present bias. Your brain literally discounts the future. A car breakdown next month feels abstract. Dinner tonight feels very real. So the first thing we need to do is stop treating emergency fund building like a willpower exercise. It's not about discipline. It's about designing a system that works with your psychology instead of against it. Now, you might be thinking, Luis, I've heard this before. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's like $12,000 to $15,000. I can barely save $200 a month. That'll take me 5 years. And yeah, if you think about it that way, you'll never start. That number is paralyzing. So here's what I want you to do instead. We're going to build your emergency fund in 3 phases. And phase 1 is the only one that matters right now. Phase 1. $1,000. That's it. $1,000. This single number covers roughly 80% of common emergencies. A car repair, a medical copay, a last-minute flight for a family situation, a broken appliance. You don't need $15,000 to handle most of what life throws at you. You need $1,000 and a plan. Phase 2 is 1 month of essential expenses. Not your full lifestyle, just rent, utilities, food, transportation, and minimum debt payments. For most people, that's somewhere between $2,500 and $4,000. Phase 3 is the full 3 to 6 months. But we're not even thinking about that right now. Right now, the only number that exists is $1,000. All right, this is where it gets really interesting. Because I'm not going to tell you to cut out lattes. I'm not going to tell you to stop eating avocado toast. That advice is patronizing and, frankly, mathematically insignificant. A $5 coffee 5 days a week is $100 a month. That's fine, but it's slow. We're trying to move fast. Here's the framework. I call it the 30-day emergency fund sprint. The goal is to get to $1,000 in 30 days or less. And we do it by stacking 3 strategies simultaneously. Strategy 1, the expense audit sell-off. Go through your bank statement right now, the last 30 days. Find every subscription, every recurring charge, everything you're paying for that you either forgot about or don't actively use. The average American spends $219 a month on subscriptions they don't fully utilize. Cancel everything that isn't essential for the next 30 days. You can always resubscribe later, but for this month, that money gets redirected. Let's say you find $150 worth of stuff to cut. That's $150 toward your $1,000. Now, the sell-off part. Look around your home. Clothes you haven't worn in a year, electronics are collecting dust, that exercise bike, old textbooks. List them on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Poshmark, whatever. Most people can generate $200 to $500 in a single weekend by selling things they've already forgotten they own. So now, we're at $350 to $650 from just those 2 actions. Strategy 2, the income spike. This is the part people don't want to hear, but it's the most effective lever you have. For 30 days, find a way to generate an extra $300 to $500. Drive for a rideshare app on weekends. Do freelance work on Fiverr or Upwork. Offer to do yard work, dog walking, or cleaning in your neighborhood. Tutor online. Pick up overtime shifts if they're available. This isn't a permanent lifestyle change. It's a 30-day sprint. Temporary intensity for permanent security. That's the trade. Strategy 3, the automated microtransfer. Set up an automatic daily transfer from your checking account to a separate savings account. Not weekly, not monthly, daily. Here's why. $5 a day feels like nothing. You won't even notice it. But $5 a day for 30 days is $150. And because it's daily, you psychologically adapt to your checking account balance being slightly lower, and you spend slightly less without even thinking about it. Research from the Common Sense Lab found that people who use micro savings techniques save 20% more than those who try to make single large transfers. So let's do the math. Subscription cancellations, $150. Selling stuff, $300, conservatively. Income sprint, $400. Daily micro transfers, $150. That's $1,000. 30 days. Now, here's a mistake I see all the time. People keep their emergency fund in the same checking account they use for daily spending. This is a disaster. And the reason is something called mental accounting. When your emergency money is sitting next to your spending money, your brain doesn't see it as separate. It's just money in my account. And when you see a higher balance, you subconsciously permit yourself to spend more. You need separation. Open a high-yield savings account at a different bank or institution than where you do your daily banking. Right now, high-yield savings accounts are offering between 4 and 5% APY. On $1,000, that's not life-changing interest, but it adds up as your fund grows. More importantly, the friction of having to transfer money between banks, waiting 1 to 2 business days, creates a psychological barrier that prevents impulsive spending. Look, the best emergency fund is one you mildly forget about. Out of sight, out of mind, but there when you need it. Here's where most people fail. They build the fund, and then they drain it for things that aren't emergencies. A concert you really want to go to is not an emergency. A Black Friday sale is not an emergency. Your friend's birthday dinner at an expensive restaurant is not an emergency. Here's the definition I want you to use. An emergency is an unexpected, necessary expense that threatens your basic stability if left unpaid. That's it. Car breaks down and you can't get to work? Emergency. Surprise medical bill? Emergency. The new iPhone came out? Not an emergency. And here's a practical trick. Before you touch your emergency fund, make yourself wait 48 hours. If, after 48 hours, it still qualifies under that definition, use it. If it doesn't, you just saved yourself from starting over. Now, I want to talk about something no one discusses. The financial benefit of having an emergency fund goes way beyond the actual dollars in the account. Here's what most people don't realize. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of poor decision-making in every other area of money. When you don't have a safety net, you operate from a scarcity mindset. You take on high-interest debt because you're desperate. You stay at jobs you hate because you can't afford any income gap. You avoid investing because every dollar feels too precious to risk. A Federal Reserve study found that households with even $400 in emergency savings are significantly less likely to carry revolving credit card debt. $400 changes behavior. When you have $1,000 sitting in a separate account, something shifts. You negotiate differently. You make career decisions from a position of strength rather than fear. You stop putting unexpected expenses on credit cards at 22% interest, which, by the way, means your emergency fund is effectively earning you 22% by preventing that debt. Think about that. No investment in the world gives you a guaranteed 22% return. Your emergency fund does, indirectly.
So let me bring this all together. You don't need to save for 2 years to have financial security. You need 30 days of focused, intentional action. Cancel what you don't need. Sell what you don't use. Sprint for extra income. Automate small daily transfers. Put the money somewhere separate. Protect it with a 48-hour rule and a strict definition of emergency. $1,000, 30 days. That's the challenge.
And look, I know some of you are going to watch this video and think, yeah, that makes sense, and then do nothing. I know that because I used to be that person. But here's the difference between people who build wealth and people who don't. It's not intelligence, it's not income, it's not luck. It's the willingness to take one uncomfortable action today instead of waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. So here's what I want you to do right now. Before you click on another video, open your banking app and set up that daily $5 transfer. That's it. That's your starting point. $5 today. The momentum will follow. If this video helped you, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below telling me where you're starting from. 0, 500, 1,000, but you keep draining it? Let me know. I read every single comment. I'll see you in the next one.